Now, speaking of Avatar, Jackson, I made the dangerous decision to put myself out there, and I said, listeners,
send us your opinion.
Which
we should never do.
I disagree. I think it's opened up a lovely discourse because honestly, it is a bit eye-opening and a little bit like it's interesting.
Yeah. Okay, so I said, hey, look, tell me why you hate Avatar.
Yeah.
Because, like, I don't understand. I was like, look, you listen to this podcast, so I understand you like certain pop culture things. If you hate Avatar, but you like the MCU and stuff like that, like, why do you hate Avatar? Like, help me understand. Please tell me what type of movies you watch.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear that you only go to independent cinema.
Yeah.
Like,
you know, what blockbusters are you watching? Why
Anyway, so then
it's interesting, Jody, before you get into that, just very quickly, like, you are actually a very interesting case when it comes to Avatar because you came into Avatar late. Like, you never watched it when it first came out.
No.
Absolutely.
Because, like, I don't know why, either, like,
I was working at a cinema, so I was sick of it.
Yeah.
I was
either
you,
that,
listeners.
or, like, it was the, you know, people talking about, like, oh, it's this, whatever reason why, you just didn't see it. And then it was like, no, it's actually really fun, it's good, etc. And you watched it, and you're like, oh, no, shit, it's great, I get it. And then, it's a very, you have like a very unique, I think, perspective.
Absolutely. And plus, you're a guy who liked the movies, you know? You're a Johnny Movies guy. So it's not like you're coming in, you know, with Now, let's get to the opposite of that, because we've got two very vocal listeners who have started, I would say, discourse. And now, because I said I wouldn't get angry, I don't know if they've come out swinging because they're like, I'm safe.
Well, the gloves are on.
Exactly.
So this is from Elliot. Hi, friendly neighborhood Avatar not enjoyer here. So why do I not care about Avatar? First film, boring, derivative, no substance to it. As the boys said, it's very difficult to remember any of the characters' names. If you asked 50 people to name the guy from Avatar, some would say Aang, some would say Smurf guy, and probably some would say Jake Sully. The first one wasn't good unless you saw it in IMAX with 3D glasses. Yeah. Now, this is me, Joel, speaking again now.
Yeah.
This was truly a test of my will.
Yeah. Every message was really.
No, but this one, like that intro paragraph.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Just like,
anyway, I'll keep going.
Wrong.
Yeah.
Before we jump in, like, to anything, I'll read this, and then there's also one that goes kind of hand in hand.
Yeah.
Because they're both long, and they both hit the same points.
Yes. Yeah.
And they're two big topics of the Sandspans Radio Stuff and Nonsense Facebook group that people used as a jumping off point.
To give their own opinions. Yeah.
I watched it Christmas Day 2011 on a regular-sized TV, and whilst the effects still looked pretty, it just wasn't an engaging film. Also, yes, it stole the plot from Dances with Wolves. Whatever many films steal plots, that's not an issue. Unobtainium is dumb as hell. Come on, you'd mock the name if it was in Marvel. Also, waiting 13 years for a sequel was a dumb move. I'm not saying do what Marvel do and make 1 million Avatar sequels a year, but damn, most people didn't give a fuck when it came out because everyone forgot it existed. As for movies I like, I'm Joe MCU. Yeah, I know you want to jump in. I also want to jump in because not only a bunch of this stuff isn't even opinions, it's just fact that is wrong.
It's like so many veins are just popping.
No.
Oh, yeah.
As for movies I like, I'm Joe MCU. I think the weaker films are still more interesting to watch than Avatar. I tried rewatching Avatar before Way of Water and just could not bring myself to want to watch the sequel. My film taste won't shock anyone. I'm fairly generic in my choices, really. I like some Christopher Nolan. He's my favorite director. I liked Superman, but I think the DCEU under Zack Snyder sucked donkey dick. I also, and this may be irrelevant, really couldn't get into Blade Runner 2049. I've tried so far because I really like Dune, but I just don't get Blade Runner.
Yeah. First of all,
No. That's...
okay.
We got another one.
Okay, go through the other one. Go through the other one, that's fine.
This is from Steven. And, like, Steven has seen Elliot's message and been like, well, I don't want Elliot to be the only person with the worst takes in the world.
Yeah, I gotta throw out my hat in the ring.
Okay, Joel Dushel.
Oh, hang on, he can't have the dunce hat. I want the dunce hat.
Give me the dunce hat of movies.
Okay, Joel Dushel, let's get down to business about Avatar. It's basic. No character in it is compelling or interesting. They are bland character templates that we've all seen 1 million times before, but with no individuality or flavor. The setting is initially interesting at surface level, but it clearly hasn't been thought through, and it lacks interesting artifacts. There's no lightsaber, no DeLorean, no motion tracker, no gun star, not even Han Solo's whip. You wouldn't think the tech for the actual avatar or you would think the tech for the actual avatar or the mechs would count, but it's just template shit we've seen a million times before. Nothing in it is iconic. The closest you get is unobtainium, and it's a joke. The writing isn't memorable at all, other than Pop a Dragon, and that's because it's bad. The plot is just a copy-paste with nothing original or interesting added. On first watch, it's fine, even good. The spectacle and the veneer of engineered competence make it go down smooth. The more you're exposed to it, the worse it gets. Too long didn't read. Avatar is the McDonald's of movies.
Goodness.
Yes, more so than the MCU. That's KFC. But at least the MCU is interestingly bad occasionally.
Yeah.
Oh, you asked what movies I like? I have varied taste. My Dinner with Andre is good, but so is Die Hard. I'd say the greatest movie of all time is the 1986 Transformers movie.
You've got the touch.
Well, first of all, unobtainium, a name everybody loves to make fun of, wasn't made up by Avatar. I don't know if people know this, but it's a phrase used by scientists and engineers to refer to a material
really?
Since the late 1950s. Since the late 1950s, aerospace engineers have used the term unobtainium when referring to unusual or costly materials, or when theoretically considering a material perfect for their needs in all respects, except that it does not exist.
Okay, and
that's so funny that like
not even made up
the
by
things
Avatar.
that you grab onto, and that's and it's like, oh, actually, it's there's been a meticulous like research about.
Also,
Or, like, history.
Waiting
So
13 years to do a sequel. That's you. People go crazy for legacy sequels, and that's a big break. Anyway, so 13 years. Yeah, they wanted to make sure the movie was good. Second of all, you claim no one cared. Let me just. So, box office.
Well, I think it's
mojo.
really funny. And look, obviously.
Hey, I'm sorry. I just hang on. Avatar.
It's the same thing because, like, we're on the flip side of this when it comes to, like, say Deadpool and Wolverine, because we really didn't like that film, but it did make a lot of money.
Yeah.
We don't say no one cares about.
You got to
That's the thing, though. We're like, it wasn't for me. I didn't get it.
Horrible.
But it was a very horrible movie going experience. But I understand why people like that.
Yeah.
And I get it, and I understand it. Whereas I actually don't get why people don't
like Deadpool, Wolverine,
or
why they don't like Avatar. Yeah, absolutely.
And then for like some of the opinions that we're getting.
Well, I think, look, no disrespect to you, Steven, but the idea of being like the movie's bad because I can't get a toy of something is an embarrassing opinion. And also, I think, thinking about that, I was like, a crazy thing about the Avatar franchise is there's no funny little guy, right? And every movie these days, if it's like an epic, an adventure, a fantasy, they'll put a funny little guy in there because you can make a toy of it, you can make a plush of it.
I love
Avatar
Babu Frick.
Yeah, Babu Frick or BB-8 or whatever, but Avatar is pretty kind of committed to being like, well, our aliens look freaky.
Yeah.
This is just a sci-fi
I've just double checked that. So no one cares. Avatar: The Way of Water is the third highest grossing film of all time.
Yeah.
And James Cameron's got 3 of the top 4.
Yeah.
Like, again, and the whole, like, no artifacts. But I do remember, like, after seeing Avatar the very first time, like, I didn't see it in 3D.
No.
I think I saw regular cinema. And like being like, I really wish I could have either an action figure or like, because again, like, or a those the statue type things that look kind of cool. It's like, I wish I could have one of those.
Crab robots from Way of Water. This thing's fucking rock.
I don't remember if I could at the time, or if the ones that were released didn't look that great because they were a bit either cheaply made, or I was too poor and I couldn't afford to, like, the nicer looking
Well, yeah,
ones.
I remember when Way of Water came out,
really
there were a bunch of crab robot toys that I was like, oh, that's really cool.
The Lego was sick.
Yeah, but I'm like, well, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm no disrespect, an adult.
Yes.
I don't need a toy of Avatar at the moment. I'm good.
Okay, another thing I just want to touch on.
Yeah.
So first of all, you've used the South Park description. So that's already an awesome sign. Elliot. Whoa, that's funny because they're Smurfs and it's Dancing with Wolves. You complain about the length of Avatar. Have you seen Dances with Wolves? Like, are you upset? Okay, you're like, oh, Avatar stole the plot of Dances with Wolves. Yeah, have you seen Dances with Wolves? That movie goes for 3 hours and 50 minutes.
Oh, that's the thing. The whole thing of like, I just copied Dances with Wolves. But the thing is, like, I don't think you've seen Dances with Wolves. I haven't seen Dances with Wolves.
And if you have seen Dances with Wolves, have you watched the MCU? All of those stories are exactly the fucking same.
Yeah.
In fact, they came under criticism constantly in the MCU. And just because I think that the MCU does the same things you're complaining about Avatar to like I'm not none of this is going to change your mind.
Of course not.
And I understand that. But I was worried. I was like, am I missing something?
Yeah.
And no, it turns out that everyone's just saying insane shit.
And everybody's response, it was so crazy the amount of people that were like, oh, it's boring. I just find that bizarre.
I think that because it isn't Bad Boys, it isn't the action comedy, it's just it's a sci-fi film.
Yeah.
It's slow, but not slow, like it's methodically
paced. It's not slow
paced.
paced. It's not a slow burn movie.
Yeah.
It's just like
Way of Water is, because there's this, like,
that's true, actually. The first third of Way of Water is pretty, like,
I understand that it's
earth.
quite long, but again, watching it, and the Way of Water, I watched multiple times in the cinema. It didn't feel like a slog.
No.
It didn't feel like that. Like, I've seen movies that are 90 minutes and they felt like they've gone for a billion years. I've seen movies that, like the 2 hours and you feel those every single minute.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't know. It's just maybe, I think they're very good at the craft of making a film to make things very interesting, so it doesn't feel like it is a slog, and he makes it very well paced. Where it is going, there's a bit of an action thing.
And
he's very good at the craft.
Look, I can almost understand the criticism that the first Avatar is like not generic, but that it plays on a lot of classic tropes. I think that's a fair criticism, honestly.
But we've got a second movie now.
But I think the thing about Way of Water and what makes it so good is that it takes those tropes, it takes those things you assume.
But actually, the final fight is just the Titanic because there's a boat sinking.
Like to take the first movie where you have a guy who is like so extremely xenophobic, and like is this like macho, army bad guy, and then in the next movie to be like, we're taking again the Avatar program that in the first movie is treated as this kind of amazing thing, and what Jake Sully decides to fully commit to this life, and to be like, we're gonna do that to the bad guy and watch as it fucks up his worldview. That's cool.
Yeah.
To go, this guy who is the savior of everyone, who has sacrificed everything to protect the Na'vi, and to see that it's not working, and now he has to grapple with that. That's cool.
Also, so Elliot, I think your issues, because you say it's boring, derivative, there's no substance to it. You don't like Blade Runner. You like Dune. Your favorite director is Christopher Nolan. Now, Blade Runner does this thing as well. You need to care about the characters. And I think that the movie does make you care. But if you're someone that doesn't give a fuck about emotions in movies, Avatar, like Way of Water, is going to bounce off you as well. And
true.
I also think that Steven might have the same thing of like, I'm watching blue CGI people. I can't connect to them emotionally, so I don't care.
It's crazy to imagine any Marvel movie having substance, I will say.
They did for a little bit, sort of.
Which one?
I mean, like, when you...
Give me one.
Well, you got to understand, Infinity War is so emotional because they lose. No, but like, prior to that...
I guess, like, I would say
Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier has emotion. There's interesting stuff as Captain
Civil
America has to
War?
grapple. Yeah, Civil War.
Yeah,
Civil
there
War.
was some stuff.
Civil War is a messy film, and especially on rewatch, I was like, oh, wow, this is nowhere near as good as I remember
But
it
it does have...
But it has a shockingly pretty strong emotional core.
Yes,
which is really good. Now, again,
that was probably the last time the MCU, Mr. Stark or whatever, I'm sorry.
I'm dust, Mr. Stark.
I'm a baby boy and I can't spider bite my way out of this.
I still
people
stand by
talk
that.
about
that moment where Tony's like, I don't care, he killed my mum.
Yeah.
It's so
It's
fucking
great.
good.
It's good, yeah.
Civil War's
really
the
good
last
emotional
Black Panther?
Sort of.
Either way.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Is it the whole, like, emotionally can't connect with, like, blue people because they're a little bit removed.
Yeah.
And then it's like with Blade Runner.
It's also
like,
the pacing.
I can't connect with them because they're a robot.
No. I think it's the pacing there. Like, I think that...
Fuck, it's so good, though.
Yeah.
Like,
Blade Runner was awesome.
Blade Runner is really... Because, actually, Avatar kind of does this, too.
Yeah.
They're both, like, and Blade Runner, they're, like, such a far... I know Dune is here, too, but that doesn't rely on emotions.
Yeah.
That's, like, a play on...
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Because, like, Dune is, like, that's very slow. And it's very, like, Dune, if you were, like... Look, that was a slog, and I couldn't get through it. I'm like, look, I liked it, but I understand that 100% complete, because that pacing is...
And if you stop paying attention, like, everything's, like... Like, you could, and I would never recommend this, but you could second screen watch Avatar and get it.
Yeah.
Try and second screen watch Dune your first time. You think you watched it wrong.
You did very
not.
wrong. Yeah,
but if you're... But with Blade Runner, it's like a very cold world.
It is,
but the emotion slowly builds up as I always called him K, but that's
Agent K is like
from Men in Black. Yeah.
It is K, isn't it?
I think so. I think it's K.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a kind of cold,
But like, there's that weird thing as well. Like we're talking about, because like again, Blade Runner 2049. I'm like, I love that movie. I think it's great. I cannot name any the characters' names. I know Ryan Gosling, and then I know.
We were right. It was Kay. So it turns out we did know.
I know, Batista's in there. Deckard. But again, it's like just because you don't latch onto their name doesn't necessarily make it a bad
I think
film or a bad piece of media.
Weird idea.
I understand, I know Aang from Avatar, but that's because you had so many episodes.
Also, you watched it as a baby, probably.
But I also think it's just a really weird metric that we use for movies these days, where we go, there's no fandom around the movie, maybe, and somehow that makes it a bad movie. Nobody's writing fan fiction. I remember people saying that about Avatar 1. And you're like, and somehow that is a metric or a yardstick to determine the quality of a film. Nobody makes fan fiction about the after sunset movie, the before sunset movies or whatever. Sure. And what's the artifact for those films? What's the famous gun from the before sunrise movie?
The train, and then the book, and then the divorce, maybe.
But there's the boat that they go on.
The pier that it ends on. They don't actually get divorced. If you're worried about spoilers,
I think
maybe they do.
That's the whole point. That's the whole point of those films. Are you optimist or are you not?
I think what a good film. It's just crazy to me that people are like, how to interpret or engage with any kind of art is whether or not if I go to Zing, I can buy it on a T-shirt. Yeah. To me, that's insane.
I would even understand if people were like, Avatar's fine.
Yeah.
But the thing is,
I could even understand if people were like, it bounces off me.
Yeah.
That's okay. You don't have to like the movie.
It bounces off. I think I've really thrown people through a loop who have made their entire personality being like, Avatar sucks, actually.
Yeah.
By being like, yeah, okay, why?
Yeah.
Because usually people have to defend why they like something, not why they hate it.
I think it's also pretty funny that, and look, we are just yelling at your audience, but it's also us. So if we're not yelling at you, we're yelling at each other.
Yeah.
So.
This is like the one topic where we don't yell at each other.
Exactly.
Or we do, but
we're in agreement.
It's okay, we're yelling, agreeing things
But
at
I think
each
it's pretty funny that everybody's like, all right, Dusha, get ready. Here it is. Let me give you my big list. And they're like,
Unobtainium?
It's boring.
Yeah. Unobtainium, stupid.
It's like a lot of run-up for these responses, but then they kind of...
You know what else is stupid? The term quantumania.
Yeah, dude.
Also, I saw someone somewhere, and it might have been you in the comments, Elliot. If it wasn't you, I'm sorry, but...
I think it was Elliot.
Just throw him under the bus a
Defending Quantumania?
They were like, I watched...
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Wait, I think they were like, Quantumania is...
I thought it was another dog shit opinion about Avatar, but they said...
No. They compared Avatar to Quantumania.
They were like, Quantumania is a better movie, I think.
Okay,
I think it was
in the head?
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe.
And then we had our hero Alex in Elliot's post being like, hey, they counted all of these points in the episode where they asked you, where they asked for this, and then Elliot fighting for their life. And Elliot, I admire this because this is just like, I hear you, I'm not listening.
Truly in the spirit of the three of us. So you got to give him props for that.
Yeah, we see
you. We see you.
And then Elliot's
Shut up, I'm not listening. We see you.
Elliot's like, yeah, they might bring it up in the episode in their opinion. For my money, their reasoning is flawed.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Have we turned the table on nerds? Sorry, no offense, nerds. Because for the last 15 years, nerds have just been blasted with Blue Smurf movie, Dancing with Smurfs, South Park.
I don't know. I think is South Park, because a lot of the talking points, it's like, oh, this is just a South Park episode, and they just seem to grasp onto that.
Oh wait, I'm one back over. Fuck Avatar.
But it's like, oh, you're just kind of reiterating what they did, and it's just there's no other new kind of opinions here, and again, I always think about Rogue One, a movie I fucking hate.
Yeah.
And Jenny Nicholson does genuinely a wonderful video that is just puts everything very concisely, like a very good through line and everything else to be like why she hated it. And I'm like, yeah, I agree with them and even more so.
Yeah.
And it's always like, I don't want to either reiterate my point because I'm like, honestly, just watch this video because they're so much more eloquent and thought out. And I want to, I was hoping that.
Yeah.
For Avatar, we're not getting that.
No.
So I'd love, if anyone has a video of someone that is in the same vein of Jenny Nicholson talking about Rogue One, to be like, oh, this is why, point by point breakdown of why this is a bad film and why I hate it.
Yeah.
I would love to watch that because I'm curious. Again, it's.
Well, what about this take from David Bird?
Yeah.
Sorry, I said your whole name. Sorry, but you're commenting on Facebook, so you're using it.
One,
There's a lot of talk about the boys hating when a movie doesn't look like a movie, and I think Avatar is the most. This movie doesn't look like a movie ever. Saying it looks like it was filmed in the volume would be an insult to the volume. If this movie was made in 2020, I'm accused of being AI. David.
You're a dumb cunt.
David. First of all, Way of the Water, made in 2023.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
What the fuck are you saying?
Are you crazy?
Are you fucked?
Marvel movies are shot so flat that there's no depth in it. Everything looks like a TV show or it was fucking filmed on a phone.
Yeah.
Which is actually offensive to 28 years later, which was filmed on a phone and looks better.
Yeah.
Those are the movies that don't look like movies. Or when this, just really rushed CGI. Avatar doesn't have those problems.
I think it's also really funny for people to criticize it by being like, oh, it's like a generic.
It looks good, but what else? It's a visual medium.
Yeah, but also it's funny when people are like, we've seen it before. It's generic when it's like one of the few franchises that is its own unique IP that is not based off like a pre-existing comic or book or TV show or old movie. Like it is its own unique new thing.
Yeah, I remember, I think when we watched this, the trailer of Way of Water, and Ethan, friend of the show, was here, and he works in visual
effects,
and he was just he's like, what is this? Is that can't, no fucking way.
Okay,
he was beside himself.
He couldn't believe
it. How good it was.
This is very, 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 very unrelated to my feelings of Avatar.
Yeah.
But I know someone that did work on Way of Water. My defenses of Avatar doesn't come from this. I would tell he also worked on some Marvel movies, and I've said multiple times that I hate those movies. So this is
not influencing you.
Yeah.
But he was saying that some of the amount of effects in that movie where he's like, I was so stressed working on this, not because they were putting me under the pump, but just seeing how many moving parts to every single scene there was.
Yeah.
He was like, it's crazy. He's like, a Marvel movie and whatever, they just put us under the crunch and everything's fucked. Where Avatar is like, yeah, take your time. We just need you to animate. This is going to be so deep in the distance, but there's also 25,000 other visual effects in this shot.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, I've worked on a bunch of movies and Avatar, no one's doing it like Avatar. Also, Adrian has come to our defense.
Yeah.
And they don't like Avatar.
Yeah.
But the McDonald's thing is funny. They're like, yeah, I don't like the Avatar movies, but you're wrong, dog. And get ready for Steven to lose all of us big time in this.
Okay.
So you're wrong, dog. McDonald's is literally slop I don't consider food. The Avatar movies are put together so well, it's kind of mind-boggling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the characters of the story, but it's the best French fry that's ever been made. You couldn't make it any better. I'm just not interested in French fries. And then Steven, because they said at the start, you're wrong, dog.
Yeah.
Now, they didn't use the right "your," so Steven just replied, correcting them.
Jesus. Steven!
And then Adrian didn't edit their comment and just said, yeah, I just woke up, I'll live with it. Adrian, you're the hero.
Yeah. Adrian, you get the opposite of a dunce hat.
Yeah. An inverse dunce hat.
An inverse dunce hat. Whereas,
you don't have to like this movie. Like, whatever. Yeah. You don't have to like everything that's made. But I think a lot of the takes that I'm seeing feel extremely reactionary and confused.
Another thing that people keep saying is like, yeah, it looks the fucking best, but it needs more than that. No, yes, you can't just watch the most, but also it's a movie. It's a visual medium. If you make a movie that's the best looking movie of all time and your story is a 3 out of 5.
Yeah. That's still pretty good.
Still
yeah.
very impressive.
Absolutely.
So it just, why has Avatar hurt you? Is it because it dethroned your guy?
I don't know, dude.
Is it also maybe to do with Avatar, the anime or manga, whatever animated cartoon? I don't know.
Yeah. It's not actually an anime because it's made in.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Well, it's made by our boys Nickelodeon.
Who are making
you can watch it on Channel 10. Yeah.
Maybe is it that because they're the series was so beloved and every time they try to do a live action or a movie,
I think
it becomes almost like a hurtful thing.
Yeah. Well, the live action Avatar movie's awesome, dude.
Avatar aired from 2005 to 2008.
TV show so much.
So
maybe, and it has a huge huge following and it has a huge, like,
I mean,
beloved
maybe-
online, like, a lot of people.
But I think
love
a lot
that
of
thing.
this comes down to, I would imagine, is that
Well,
when
let's
the
just check what The Last Airbender made compared to Avatar.
Last Airbender, dude, M. Night Shyamalan hates that TV
Well, that's what I
show
mean.
so
And like the fan reaction is like, this movie sucks. Why do we? And it's like, is part of it that?
I don't
like,
know.
It's so strange
I
to me.
think that
where
a
they're
lot
like,
of it has to come from when the first one came out.
Yeah.
There was a great deal of hype around it.
Yeah.
You know, and like,
But it was a slow build.
yeah, but there was still that hype around it, and I think people just don't like that. I think a viewing audience hates being told that something's going to be like. I think people get too tricked by it, maybe, that when they go, this movie's going to change your life, and then you watch it and you go, oh, that was like a pretty good action blockbuster with some interesting ideas. People are like, I've been lied to. So the movie's bad, and then you cement that opinion. And, you know, I saw a lot of people in their response, in their, you know, answering us being like, I've not seen The Way of Water because I hated Avatar so much.
Yeah.
And if you cement your opinion 14 years ago, of course you're not watching The Way of Water, and you're not rewatching Avatar.
No.
So, like, and again, you don't have to watch these movies,
But also-
nobody's opinion, nobody's take.
it's been like eye-opening.
Convinced me. Yeah.
Well, because I just expected people to be like, hey, I don't like Avatar because, I don't know, can't get behind the all CGI thing. I like Batman because he's a real man and it's cool to watch a man punch another man. But
Yeah.
instead, people are like, it's actually the McDonald's of the...
Yeah.
What are you
There's
saying?
no artifacts, dude.
There's
I
no
can't ride a
artifacts.
DeLorean in Avatar. Right?
Yeah.
But you can ride a mech.
Bro.
You can ride a whale.
I know what a mech is, though. It's not
A movie doesn't need there are some of the
Han Solo, whip?
well, it's because they're doing an Indiana Jones joke.
Oh, right.
Both of them Harrison Ford. Yeah.
I get that now.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
Well,
But what I also like is that there has been some comments, people being like, oh, because of our enthusiasm about Way of Water, they're like, well, we gave it a crack and fuck, great film.
yeah, exactly.
Absolutely loved it.
Like, I
Thoroughly
think Way of
enjoyable.
Water is better than Avatar 1.
100%.
I think that's fair to say.
Yeah, I agree.
100%. 100%.
But I still think Avatar 1 is a pretty good time.
Pretty good time.
All right, let's close out with one more email that
Yeah.
leave a good taste in it.
Okay.